heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
In this episode of Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby, we look ahead to this Saturday's derby between rivals Grey College and Paarl Boys High. Live on SuperSport. At the heart of South Africa, in the City of Roses, lies a school steeped in history and tradition. Now 160 years old, Grey College has a rugby playing record that has no equal. A winning percentage of over 90% since 1894, coupled with the 44 Springboks and 91 SA Schools players, makes Grey College arguably the lifeblood of South African rugby.
We have many traditional rivalries against some of the best boys' schools in South Africa. I think that is very unique in South Africa and probably not happening in many other parts of the world, and we certainly value all these traditional rivalries against the other schools. I think the ethos of Grey College is very unique. Yes, the grey handshake is well known throughout the world, and it is wonderful to see many boys who achieve after school give acknowledgement to the fact that they've been to Grey College, and by greeting some of the other old boys by using the famous grey handshake.
Year upon year, the Bloemfontein school has churned out superb first teams, many of which have been blessed with future stars of the professional game.
When you get started 6, the first team is your heroes. They walk around there, and there's a sort of a mystery around the first team. You don't get to touch them, you don't get to speak to them, you know. So it was a great honour and great playing for the first team.
We are certainly very proud of all our old boys who achieved after school. Yes, we have many boys who achieved, especially in rugby, but whichever field they make a contribution in, we are proud of our old boys, and they really achieve in many other areas of life after school, not only rugby.
On Saturday the 2nd of May, Grey will face an almighty opponent in the form of Paarl Boys High School. The famed Wineland School lays claim to have produced many great Springboks, including former captain Corne Krige and the legendary Mannetjie Sroe, among others.
Die skool is gestig in 1868. Ons is 150 jaar in 2018. Die skool is gebaseer op 3 basiese tradisies: goeie leerlingskap, goeie sportmanskap en goeie gedrag. Die agile gees in die skool, dink ek, ons is baie kompeterend. Ons hou nie sommer van verloor nie, maar ek dink tog ons weet waar om die lyn te trek tussen sport en akademie.
Die skool se fokus nog al die jare redelik uniek was, en dat die skool se fokus nie daarop sentreer om enige besondere toekenning of prestasie te behaal anders as om seuns en jong manne uit te stuur wat weet en daarvoor toegerus is om positiewe verskil in 'n baie negatiewe wêreld te maak.
Despite some 900 kilometers between them, the rivalry of these two great schools is something to behold.
These schools have a long-standing tradition of rivalry against one another, and also remember that we're not only going up there with the rugby, we're going up with basically all the cultural activities, sports. We have an intercultural evening there as well. So yeah, the boys are quite serious about this.
The Paarl Boys High derby against Grey College is a very big one. It's a very important one for us. We host a lot of their supporters, their old boys, their boys obviously, their staff, their parents, all the major sports and cultural activities. So a very big inter-schools event for Grey College.
Grey first-team coach Wessel du Plessis played alongside the likes of Rohan Pienaar and Bismarck du Plessis at school, and he knows he will have his hands full this year.
Yes, I think no one would doubt that Boys High is a fierce opponent. I think they've done well with their structures. They have a lot of players getting into Boys High. They have good coaches. I mean, Shaun Erasmus is a great coach. And I think they'll always be a tough clash. The last 5 years especially, they're a team that travels well as well. And Boys High Grey is always a big match.
So similar are these schools in ethos and tradition that some of the grey old boys send their sons to Boys High, as was the case with Freddie Kirsten.
In my start 6 jaar was hy toe speel ons by Grey en nou moet hy al sy klomp skoolvriende sien. En nou het hy ook, nou kan hy nie sy half naam weggooi in die Paarl nie. So toe het hy met die ongelooflike idee gekom, hy gaan sy Grey Old Boys golfhemp aantrek en 'n Boys High hoed. So wanneer hy 'n Grey man groet, dan haal hy die hoed af en sit dit agter sy rug en skud blad. En as hy by 'n Boys High kom, dan haal hy die hoed af, hou die hoed voor sy bors en dan groet hy so.
Grey have enjoyed the lion's share of wins in this rivalry, with Boys High claiming just 2 victories since the turn of the century. However, the matches between these two schools have often been decided by just a few points, and sometimes none at all, as was the case with the famous match of 2011.
I remember when 2011 we played Boys High. That was actually a very crucial game in our season, because Boys High actually were that team who stepped up.
Ons span was nie belaai met name gewees nie. Ons het 'n redelike gutsy span gehad.
A team that did extremely well, a very proud team. That was the year that we ended number 1 in South Africa.
As per usual, Grey had a strong side in 2011, with the SA Schools centre pairing of Jan Serfontein and Dries Swanepoel.
We started playing together under 16A, and from then we built a good partnership with each other and a nice understanding of each other's type of game.
Ek onthou Jan Serfontein het op 'n koel, ons het 'n baie groot slot gehad, Reine van der Merwe, hy het boor hom gehardloop en gaan skoor in die hoekie toe. Dis die mense se oë bietjie wild.
Grey took a 15-5 lead into the halftime break before disaster struck for Boys High.
We had the unfortunate incident where the hooker, Freddie Kirsten, dislocated his shoulder.
Ek dink dit was so 15 minute voor die einde van die wedstryd. Het in 'n losgemaal het Nederland Forsie onder op die grond gelê, het myself vasgehou. En toe was so 1 of 2 chirpies wat gaan is. En toe ek myself so probeer onder hom uitruk, toe ontwrig die skouer weer en dis 'n soort van die laaste ding wat ek onthou.
Locked at 15 all with time running out, Boys High thought they had clinched the match in dramatic fashion.
We were even, and then we were all sure that our one wing, JP Murray, scored in the left-hand corner.
It should have been a try, and then one of the guys actually put their body on the line. They almost scored in the corner, but our guy tackled him out, which could have turned the game in their favour. But luckily, it was a tough game, and we were unfortunate not to pull it through. But they were also very good on the day.
Ja, ek is toe in die ambulans en ek is hospitaal toe en toe ek die aand weer die telling hoor, toe hoor ek ons het 15-11 gelyk op gespeel.
After that game, after that draw, it really hurt us, and we came together as a team and spoke, and that was almost a turning point in our season.
Toe ek sien hoe die matriek ouens en star 9 wat gejol het sy gesig te hang was dit vir my baie groot ding, want dan kom jy agter hoe baie mense eintlik vir Grey voel net ontwikkel 'n emosie in jou wat nie oor 'n dag verbygaan.
Dis nooit lekker om te dra nie, maar om in Bloemfontein teen 'n ongelooflike goeie Grey eerste span te kan gelyk op speel, ek sou sê dis redelik epic.
Another great match between the two schools took place in 2003, when the likes of Flip van der Merwe and Adrian Strauss represented a Grey team who were actually underdogs on the day.
The 2003 first team in general, they did very well. I think they had an unbeaten season of guys like Flip and Adrian, and they had in the beginning of the season, I think they had doubts about the team, but gee, they surprised everybody. I think they put up bigger scores than 2002.
Yeah, Boys High was a tough opponent. I can remember, from Standard 6, they were called the so-called dream team, in their era. We actually lost to them Standard 6, 7, and 8. So when we came to Standard in the first team rivalry, we knew it was going to be a great game.
That year, I was the first team coach together with Tiens van Schoor. It was an exceptional team. We lost only about 2 matches that year. So they really ably led by a very, very keen and excellent captain, Pieter La.
In 2003, one of the specific moments that stood out for me was, I remember Adrian Strauss taking the shot at goal. He was the kicker and he was actually a hooker, so that was the funny thing for me.
we've got a little tradition at Grey where you're not allowed to celebrate after a try. You'll always see when the guys score, they just run back. And it was a funny thing on the Monday when we had the video. The only thing we saw was our 8th man that day, Willem Klopper, scored a try. And when he was running around, he was giving a little fist bump there, and the pause there, then the headmaster actually came in, so we'd never ever do that again. You know?
The Grey match was a bit of a disappointment, I must admit. It was a game of missed chances. I think we had the opportunities to perform there, but we didn't take up all our chances on that day.
Yeah, I think we ended up winning 27-16. It was a great win for us. Sort of, as you said, we definitely came in as underdogs, and to have such a big win was very good.
Grey College 8th man, Werner Roberts, will have the responsibility of leading the first team on Saturday.
Grey beteken baie meer as net 'n skool vir my. Ek gaan met my hande voor my oë uit hierdie skool uit gaan, want ek trap in voetspore van baie groot mense en mense wat die wêreld baie goed ken, die wêreld vol is. So Grey beteken baie meer as net 'n skool.
Both teams are expected to contend for the #1 ranking in 2015, setting this encounter to be one of epic proportions.
I think it's going to be just like every other game. Like I said, it's going to be a tough game at this level. I think both teams will go out there to do their absolute best, and I think the team that's the most hungriest and the most accurate on the day will be the winners.
Beating Grey College is a difficult task. Beating them in Bloemfontein is near impossible. But the 800-odd boys that will make the trip up to the interior from Paarl will have other ideas. Come Saturday, the Grey First Team field will host a battle of gladiatorial proportions between these two fine schools.
Today, we stand for all that is. For our heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
Watch Grey College versus Paarl Boys High in Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby this Saturday, live on SuperSport.